Hey y'all, hope y'all having a beautiful weekend. Coming to you and with a discussion about something. I don't know if it was about a year ago or so. I was talking with a friend of mine, good friend of mine, and I was explaining. I forget exactly what the subject entailed, but anyway, I got onto where I thought there were 10 1 0 10 different dimensions, known dimensions, and that humans know of at this point. And I will list those and also explain why I mentioned them. And they're in order they're in order for a reason. I'll explain that after I'm done listing. Alright, number one, the first dimension. Y'all know of it, simple geometry, lines. Number two, second dimension. Second dimensional planes, as in, again, geometric planes. Number three, three-dimensional. We're talking about kind of solid objects. Y'all know geometry, solid objects. Number four, touch, where you can actually feel the object. Number five, time. Time. Yes, time. You get it. Time. Number six, the subatomic level. We got atoms, smaller than atoms, all that kind of stuff. Number seven, we're at the speed of light. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we're at light. We're talking about light travel, speed of light. Number eight, the electromagnetic spectrum. Now, this is just more than just visible light. You go from um, is infrared the lowest one? No, I believe there's lower than infrared. Microwaves, radios, all the way up to ultraviolet light and gamma radiation. And then there's number nine, black holes, and number 10, human consciousness. Now, like I said, I put those 10 dimensions in that order for a reason, because I put them in that reason for human understanding. That's why I feel that human understanding is going to get to, like, from the simplest to the most complex. There may be more dimensions in our known universe. Now, this is just our universe. This isn't other universes or other dimensions, okay? Other parallel dimensions that may exist. Other quote-unquote realities, whatever you want to call them, okay? And how did I come up with these things? Well, let me explain. Number one, the first dimension, the line. The line is your basic thing, man. Lines are basic, whether it be curved or it be straight. Whether it be squiggly, lines, everything, everywhere you can look, lines are, your basic breakdown that the human mind can come up with. Very mathematical, very, very simple. Number two, with planes. Planes are your first beginning to understand depth, okay? To begin to understand that life isn't just random. It kind of closes things in together. So that's where that is. It's like I said, it's another step of complexity. Number three, three-dimensional objects. These are pretty self-explanatory. These go from just flat objects to elevated objects. What's the word? Depth. I want more than depth. We're going into something. Craters, all that kind of stuff. So it's more than just, you just seeing something, a wall or a table kind of thing. It's something risen or within, okay? Then there's the fourth element of touch, where you can it's actually tangible. You understand? Like, for example, I have my bag here, okay? If we were going by just the line, you would see just this. If you were going by the second dimension on the plane, you would see the bag. In 3D, you see those ridges. In 4D, I can actually touch it. So that's the difference I have there. 4D, I actually got the idea a few years back when it was at Busch Gardens. I didn't actually get to go into it because I was off doing other rides. But they had this thing about pirates, and they're saying 4D water would splash on you or something like that. Something about a boat or something like that. Anyway, 5, Now, this idea of time. Now, time is a beautiful thing. It's very complex. I'm gonna tell you that right there. First of all, do I ever believe we can get into time travel? No, no. I believe the more we learn, the more impossible it will be. It just the different laws. Is it probable? Can the idea of time travel, can it really exist? Yes, but can humans master it? No, I don't. It would. I mean, time travel for itself would have to be faster than the speed of light, easily. I mean, maybe 10 times faster than the speed of light if we're just going to go speed alone. I just don't see it being possible that humans can control and manipulate. And also, I see other problems with history and stuff, because then there's alternate realities, as you've seen cartoons, animes, and different ones do. It brings problems. It's just problematic all the way around. But with time, I got the idea of time being the fifth dimension by A Wrinkle in Time. I believe it was the classic book, A Wrinkle in Time. They mentioned that being 5 dimensions, and time, it can go, it's both relative and objective. It encompasses so many things. Number 6, why I picked the subatomic thing, because quantum physics, the fact that we had to that science had to come up with a separate sort of physics to explain this microscopic world, so to say, is, and in fact, incredible. It's just incredible. It's mind-blowing. The fact that I don't think we're going to understand it anytime soon. We'll understand the concept of time before we do this. Why do I say that? Because the more we dig, the more complex, the more design, random design you want to see it in. The fact that electrons themselves, the whole nuclear thing, electrons, where they can be there's many different possibilities where electrons can be. That kind of thing alone is just mind-blowing. Let alone that there's smaller parts than an atom, subatomic particles. And it's probably, if we dig, there might be smaller parts than that, and it just go, it doesn't go on forever into infinity, but y'all get where I'm going. It's insanity. Then number 7, and the reason I didn't have light speed above the electromagnetic spectrum is because of this very reason, that the electromagnetic spectrum deals with so many different forms of, I guess you can say, radiation. You understand what I'm saying? Now, number 7, light. What light speed teaches us, that light, from what we understand, it's always present. See, light, the beauty about light, for people who, they question the idea of the concept of God because of something being internal, light gives us a small doorway, a porthole into possibility of understanding eternity, immortality. How can that be possible? And again, first of all, do I believe that we will ever be able to travel at the speed of light? Most unlikely. Possibly most unlikely. And here's the problem, because at that speed you become not just particle, you become energy. Okay? We'd have to somehow be able to, and it's kind of attached to the subatomic thing, where it's both particles and energy. So we'd somehow have to be able to control our energy form and then make it back in a solid form, and I just don't see that happening. Could it happen? Sure, possibly, but traveling at light speed, and even still, light speed has a limit, and we could still only get so far. We'd have to go beyond light speed to really, really explore the universe, which is very problematic in of itself. But again, like I said, light speed, eternity, because it's always present. You understand? Always present. They say we see from before, which I kind of get, but I don't know, man. I don't know. The whole distance from away, or we've seen 500 years before, I'm sorry, I can't buy it. I understand it, I get the concept, but personally I can't buy it. Now, moving on, the electromagnetic spectrum. There are so many different elements of it. There's the frequencies. There, the different components of energy. There's that. I mean, can we utilize it? Right now, all we have, we utilize radios, microwaves, what was I about to say? Infrared tech, we do that. Visible light, we in a way naturally utilize that. X-rays, ultraviolet light, I think we use partially, I don't know, but gamma radiation, I know, I'm pretty sure we don't use that yet. So that's definitely something. Understanding it more, I would love for science to get to that point. I believe it will, but the more we learn about each of these breakdowns, I guarantee there's probably even more than I know. There's probably more divisions on the electromagnetic spectrum. There's probably divisions below. Is it radio waves? That's the longest that we know. And I think gamma rays is high. There's probably more. They're probably even more complex. The complexity that I mentioned. Now, black holes, number 9. There's a reason black holes didn't beat the last one, but I'll get to that in a second, or in a minute or so. With black holes, I love the idea of black holes. See, to me, it presents one of the best arguments in science for the possibility of a God, because a lot of people value science in so much, it's almost like a religion or whatever, to the point now where the existence of God can't be, even though science is quite limited and we have very finite minds, we barely understand the universe. Let's get real, we barely understand the universe. We don't even really fully understand life on Earth, let alone the universe. So that's in of itself, you understand? And we can only see so far into the universe. Okay, y'all? We can only see so far into the universe. Now, with black holes defy both physics and quantum mechanics, which is quantum physics. Both regular physics that we have, Newton's thoughts, and then quantum physics that deal with the really small stuff, the subatomic particles and all that jazz. It defies that. The fact of, the core of the black hole, infinitely mass or something like that. It's an infinity, and math right now doesn't really deal with infinities. The fact that light can't even pass through black holes, the fact, because it's so dense, that in of itself is just a mind-blowing thing. And I mean, these things, who knows really what these entities are? Black holes. I mean, the name in of itself, black holes. That's just showing, it's not just a void in space. It's just showing that we have so far to go to understand these things. Black holes. And lastly, human consciousness. Now, the reason I have this above even black holes is because black holes, we can theoretically figure out eventually. Human consciousness, we ain't even close to figuring out. First of all, with science, the problem that science faces when it comes to human consciousness. Now, I like psychology. I prefer philosophy over psychology, and here's why. Because psychology mainly deals with the brain, it deals with the physical. Here's the thing, a lot of the makeup of humans that make humans who they really are, who we really are, is not the physical. It's intangible. That's the human consciousness I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about somebody being awake. I'm not just talking about somebody breathing. I'm talking about the essence of a man, of a woman, boy, girl, your thoughts. We can't understand thoughts currently with science because science is quite limited. We have to broaden the expand. We have to go into the things like, first of all, what makes somebody think the way they do? Yes, science, you deal with the different factors of the different environmental factors, the different ways people were raised, all that jazz, all that good stuff. But why does somebody think? Predisposition, I understand that too. And I think it's cool that science has different parts of the brain respond differently. But that doesn't what makes somebody who they are. You understand? You can destroy part of that and it'll alter somebody. Obviously, the brain, the central nervous system, has huge parts to do with how somebody is. But that doesn't make an individual who they are. You know, there's the essence of the soul and a whole bunch of elements. And human consciousness it's just, man, like, I don't even know how to really speak about this, because no one really knows how to speak about it. Will we ever know? I don't know, man. I don't know. Human consciousness. If we can figure out human consciousness, if we can figure out black holes, human consciousness, yo, you know, what else can, what else in the known universe, in the universe, is there left to figure out besides those two of the greatest mysteries? I mean, there are other mysteries, but I think those will get solved before those last two, because those things right there are insane to comprehend as of now. Alright, y'all, hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if it was a little long for y'all. It's just some thoughts I have. And have a beautiful week, y'all. Peace.